Chapter 2 The Rizqians. We are the first advanced humanoid type, usually described as being benevolent by comparison to other groups. We also have malevolent beings in our race who work with us. We built complex cavern cities beneath the earth and seeded reptilians, humans, and other races on earth. We Rizqians are also called the Ancients, Anunnaki, the Elders, Ancestors, Atlanteans, Deniers, Elohim, and Gods. We are star, planet, and gate builders. Our language is Nuwaupu, which sounds like Arabic. Arabic comes from cuneiform. We lived in the Pegasus galaxy, which was small and became overpopulated with insects. We left the Pegasus galaxy for the Milky Way and seeded it with life. We are one of the most advanced races known to ever exist, having evolved for trillions of years prior to the present day and reaching our level of technology long before humanity evolved on Earth. We build stargates to move around the galaxy faster. We are best known as the builders of the stargates, Atlantis, and Masir, which is also called Destiny, and planet-sized ships such as the Grand Mother ship Nibiru. A stargate is an bridge portal device within the Stargate network that allows practical, rapid travel between two distant locations in the third to fifth dimension. The Stargate functions as a plot generator, allowing the beings to visit alien planets without the need for spaceships or any other type of technology. The device allows for near instantaneous travel across both interstellar and extragalactic distances. The basic Stargate concept is that it has at least two devices in distant positions, and when active, the rings of each become similar to a physical, singular gateway or doorframe between the two locations. We are able to create an entire star system complete with complex life on planets between the time the seed ships passed its location and Destiny arrived. You have artificial stars, which can be holograms. A laser guide star is an artificial star image created for use in astronomical adaptive optics systems, which are employed in large telescopes in order to correct atmospheric distortion of light, called astronomical seeing. Our seed ships were not able to detect these type of stars, and it was uncharted. Masir is a ship that planted stargates on planets throughout the galaxies. When Masir flew near artificial stars, the gravity of the star disrupted its faster-than-light engine. Since the star system wasn't in any of the navigational data transmitted to Masir from the seed ships, Masir is required to plot a parabolic course around the star to chart the system itself. Most of us, the Rizqians, have ascended to a higher plane of existence with near infinite knowledge and powerful abilities. We ascended to the seventh dimension and became pure light, then pure thought beings. We slow down our vibration to come to the fifth and third dimension. We were the first known race to ascend. There are many planes of existence between human existence and ascension. When one exists in any of these planes beyond the third dimension, he or she is referred to as an ascended being because they have ascended to a higher plane as a form of intelligent energy. Refer to the Ascension Manual by the Young Elder. Ascension is a process that allows beings to be able to separate from their physical bodies and to live eternally as pure energy in a superior plane with a greater amount of knowledge and power. It can be a mental, spiritual, or evolutionary process, a direct result of obtaining a certain level of wisdom and knowledge as a civilization. The Earth religion of Buddhism is based on ascension, and they teach that Oma is Mother Nature along with the other ancients as spirits. There are 9 dimensions. Some people say 12, but they're only 9. The dimensions loop after 9 back to 1. 12 is what we call a combination number, being 1 and 2, which makes up 3. Each dimension is vibrating on its own frequency. All the dimensions make up one dimension, which is the All. The various planes of existence not only dictate the powers an ascended being has, but also their level of understanding or overstanding the universe, or their degree of enlightenment. The higher a being ascend, the more power, knowledge, and overstanding of the universe they possess. Before we ascended, we built a lot of technology. In our light body form, we don't need ships to travel. We descend to the fifth dimension to oversee the third to fourth dimension. In the third dimension we are omnivores, meaning we eat meat and plant life. In the fifth we eat plants. Not all Anunnaki eat humans. The word Anunnaki is used loosely. There were many different races under the term Anunnaki. In the third to sixth dimension we move around with ships. Some referred to them as UFOs. We have many different types of crafts. We build these and sell them through our company called Rizq. The Grand Mother Ship, Crystal City, and the Shams. A mothership or mother plane is a larger ship. That ship serve as a carrier for smaller crafts. The mothership could be planetary size, such as Nibiru, which is 63,408 miles in diameter. Nibiru is one of the oldest fleets. Each of these ships have what they call fleets. What is a fleet? A fleet is a group of crafts that are part of the same group. The mother plane Nibiru would launch the crystal cities or New Jerusalems from inside of it. Nibiru also held cylinder crafts for hauling things. Some of the cylinder crafts were parked on the dark side of the moon. They can be from 50 feet to 30 miles in length and over 70 stories high. We use these to haul gold back to Nibiru. This great ship, Nibiru, as it was later known, is a mothership. And Nibiru at the time held 12 smaller cylinder ships, and 2,880 passenger crafts called Shams that were to be launched out from it, when Nibiru reached its destination. Also the other races on Nibiru had their ships parked inside of Nibiru. This is why the mothership Nibiru is the grandmother. Many ships come from her belly. It has over 144,000 different races living on it. It also has 24 crystal cities and 11 warcrafts. We also designed the Atlantis fleet, the Starseed fleet ships and the Mossir fleet billions of years ago. The Sham passengers ships hold 50 people. In order to get here I traveled by one of the smaller passenger crafts called Sham out of a mother plane called Merkaba or Nibiru. The 50 seats are around the walls. The craft has 3 parts. The top piece spin clockwise and the middle piece spin counterclockwise, while the lower half spin clockwise. This craft has the ability to travel in the 6th dimension, which is hyperspace. They can go up to 50 times the speed of light, which would be 186,272 times 50 miles per second. It is about 45 feet in diameter and 12 to 19 feet in height if you count the top gold crystal mixture ball. These ships look like king's crowns. Made from gold and black crystals, the Shams are fueled by solar, magnetic, and kinetic energy. It has 1 to 2 pilots and is flew using telekinesis. They can also be controlled from the mothership Nibiru, for it is one of her babies. This ship is really not equipped to fight, only to elude. They can produce a hologram which display multiple copies of itself. It also has its own magnetic force field that protects it, and its speed helps. These Shams are school buses, to pick up our children. The pickup started in 2003 and will end in 2043 when the vortex close. After this we will be out of reach. The mothership fleet Atlantis. Atlantis, also called the lost city of the Rizqians ancients and the city of the ancestors, Atlantis in ancient, is a city ship built by the Rizqians several billion years ago. It has approximately the same internal space as found in the city of Manhattan. We Rizqians arrived in the Milky Way galaxy 90 billion years ago from the Pegasus galaxy, taking Atlantis with us and settling on a planet we named Anshar, Saturn, which became our new home. Billions of years later, after we built the planet Rizq, we became known as the Rizqians. We were called the Ancients when we lived in the Pegasus galaxy. We submerged the city of Atlantis to protect it from the reptilians, and returned to other star systems through the stargates. The reptilians sunk the landing pad, which was used as a power source. Over the ages, our story inspired the Tar-Re-Earth human myth of Atlantis. The first Atlantis was built 90 billion years ago on a planet in Pegasus on a remote island. We later built a new version of Atlantis on Earth on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The city was later moved to the continent of Antarctica, which at the time was situated much closer to the planet's equator. The Mossir fleet, also called Destiny, is a ship in the Rizqians' ancient fleet, constructed and launched more than 50 billion years ago from this solar system. We Rizqians, also called Ancients, launched several automated ships prior to Mossir, each with the purpose of constructing and seeding stargates throughout the numerous galaxies they crossed, with Mossir itself planned to follow in their path to explore those planets. Mossir has traversed at least 39 different galaxies. After beginning this process, we initially planned to wait until the ship reached a sufficient distance from Earth to board it. However, because of other endeavors, like ascension, we never followed through on the mission. Because of this, Mossir has continued on a pre-programmed path on its journey throughout the stars, alone, for billions of years. Some humans from Earth used the Stargate to get on one of the Mossir's fleet ship. This is how they were able to write their movies about it. This stuff is real. All these things they show in movies really happen. The length of Mossir is roughly 2,450 feet, the width is roughly 1,700 feet, at wingspan. It can fly faster than light, in the sixth dimension, which is hyperspace. The faster-than-light engine, or FTL engine, is a technology used on our ship's Nibiru, Mossir, and the seed ships sent ahead of it. FTL has also become a human expression for an engine capable of traveling at speeds greater than that of light, whether it is through use of hyperspace or not. Hyperspace is in the sixth dimension starting at 16.6 terahertz. They also have a sublight engine. Sublight engines are engines found on ships which propel them through normal space third to fifth dimension without going beyond the speed of light. It is fueled by solar power, meaning they fly through stars to charge. Solar power refers to the utilization of the radiant energy from a star or stars. Solar power refers more specifically to the conversion of sunlight into electricity by photovoltaics or concentrating solar thermal devices. This ship also has a shuttle, which is a short-range exploration vessel employed on the ancient starship Mossir. The interface chair's neural interface is a device that was created by us and installed on our crafts. It serves similar functions to the repository of knowledge and control chair units that have been seen in various other locations. The chair contains electrodes placed on each side of the user's head which facilitate transfer of information to the brain, and from the brain to the ship's computers. The electrodes do not normally puncture the skin during operation, but the seizures induced in some cases can cause the user's head to cut itself on them. The chair can perform a variety of different functions, such as the transfer of the Mossir database into a human mind. Keep in mind the Mossir fleet are organic ships. They are living and breathing. They are alive. These ships are more advanced than AI, they are a bio-design. We will break that down in the Book of Ancient Technology by the Young Elder. We already programmed these ships, before the arrival of the Mossir expedition. Others, such as the lucid dream state it can induce, was the result of humans' modifications to both the hardware and software of the chair. This program was written by the Rizqians and instructs the chair to download the Rizqians database into the mind of its user. Curiously, the Mossir master code is not required to perform this function, despite the database being protected by it when accessed through normal consoles. The database is protected by a DNA code to keep reptilians from accessing the ship database and having all the Rizqians' knowledge. This program, in its original ancient form, is unsuitable for use by normal humans. Their brains cannot handle the rapid transfer of information. The only known so-called human user of the program, or the demigod dark-skin woolly hair children of the Rizqians. The interface chair allows control of the ship's systems via mental commands. Ancient programming in the chair allows it to upload an entire human mind into the Mossir database, where it can then be run by the ship's computers. This process, for unknown reasons, appears to wipe the mind from the chair's user as well. In cases where more than one mind occupies the same body, however, individual minds can be selectively uploaded, leaving others intact. This program, despite its ancient origin, appears to be harmless to even normal humans. Normal humans referring to mankind. Nubians are not humans, they are sons and daughters of gods. The chair can also download minds from its database into humans. We are the creators who made human beings. In our physical form in the third to fifth dimension we can get up to 4 to 15 feet tall. We have green skin. We have dark soft woolly hair. Large almond-shaped eyes that have a sparkle in them. We can weigh up to 120 to 200 pounds. We can live for billions of years in our physical state. We can live forever in our light bodies. We live all over the galaxy. Most of us are a part of the High Council in your galaxy. There are billions of Rizqians living in the galaxy in different parts in the fifth dimension. After living in 3 different galaxies for 175 billion years, we discovered the Milky Way, and first colonized the planets Saturn, Anchar and Tiamat, Terra and Tari, which would later be known as Earth. We are the pilots of the grand mothership Nibiru. We also built many Astria portals, developed zero-point modules, and established colonies on many of the planets in the Milky Way.